Oh,
Well, Alan is
Alan
also
needs a
having
link?
trouble today.
20th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Pele.
Hello,
I'll
Alan.
try to send it to Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been right.
Maybe.
You've got a what?
Hope he's doing okay. Said he was doing okay
Oh,
yesterday.
Baruch Hashem, Mazel Tov.
Oh, he has a mazel tov.
Yeah, he's got another grandchild, a boy.
Mazel
Mazel
tov.
tov.
Mazel tov.
Did you hear that?
Mazel tov, Alan. Wow.
Did you hear that, Alan?
Wonderful news.
Oh, they're all saying Mazel Tov to you. Okay.
Another grandchild.
All right. They've got another grandson, yes.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, who?
Marcus.
The Marcuses.
That's funny.
All right. Okay. You can't get in. There's it's a different. Maybe I can send you a maybe
Let me send him one.
Yes, just a minute.
Alan.
I wonder if Eliezer's having trouble too.
He wasn't in the first classes either. So,
Okay.
okay. Tell Alan, I just sent him a link to get into this year.
Okay, Alan.
Very
And
good.
Mayor just sent you a link. You've got it? Yeah. Okay, we'll see you shortly.
Okay, we'll be looking.
All right then. See you soon. Bye.
At least the link works.
There he is.
All right.
Baruch
Great.
Hashem. Very good. What do you have to do, Mayor, to get to the links?
All I did was copy the link that your wife sent, and I have all the emails, on that particular email.
Oh, okay.
So I just, when I click on a user, it lets me an option of emailing them. That's why I had to copy the link first, because the link disappears after that.
Oh,
So I emailed them, I pasted the link in, and I sent it to them.
very good.
Well, Alan's there.
Alan is coming in, right in. Okay, very good. So,
Get in. Okay, so on page 14, we're 8 lines up from the end of that first paragraph.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, there he is.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Mazel tov. Wow, Baruch
He can hear us
Hashem.
yet. His audio is connecting. He might not hear us yet.
He's got the sound, he's got the picture and not the sound. That's interesting. Connecting to audio.
There he is. Good. Alan, Mazal Tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Alan.
Good morning, everybody.
There you are. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay. Right. Right. Now
Where
you
was
can
the
hear
baby
us.
born?
About midnight.
Wow.
About midnight last night. After midnight.
Oh, here,
Ah.
here in Eretz Israel?
Pardon me?
He was here in Eretz Israel?
Yes, of course. That's where the whole family is.
All the family is there. Wow, wow.
Boy or girl?
Boy. This is Avi's third. Avi has now 2 boys and a girl.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mazel tov. So we have a
Mazel
birth.
tov.
Mitzvah Shem.
Were you up all night?
No. They said they would call us when baby was born.
The Marcuses have a baby.
Pardon me? I don't know details of how much.
I was just telling my wife.
Oh, So this is Avi's third child.
Baruch Hashem.
So of course, we can't go right away because we're both sitting. I think I'm almost done with the first part of it, but Jones still doesn't feel too well since she tested positive also. So
Oi, 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 oi.
yeah,
Mm.
Bezrat Hashem. Everything will be good. Bezrat Hashem.
Refuah shalema.
man.
Amen. Amen.
We'll be able to participate in the bris. Bezrat Hashem.
Man.
Hito bezmano. Bezrat Hashem. Okay. Gesund and stark.
13.
We're on page 14. Mayor is towards the end of this top paragraph. On
So
page
it's like
14.
section 19, right?
Yeah, section 19.
Right.
And we're 8 lines up from the bottom of that paragraph. It says the sages, Menachot 99b. Does everyone see it now?
I see it.
Yep. Thank you.
Continue reading. Sages in Menachot explain, go out and find an hour that is neither day nor night, and then you may engage in idle words. You will toil in futility and produce confusion. Fortunate is the person whose toil is in Torah. Torah was the matriarch who taught men laws and good mitzvot. One who keeps them one who keeps them will live. The person who wants life must cleave to Torah, for it gives life and guides a person with sound advice to be perfect in mind and good character. A person lacks nothing in it. Fortunate is the man who does this and holds onto it tightly.
Okay, very good.
So what is this day that's neither day or night? What is that talking about?
That means all the time.
It means right. It doesn't exist, basically, neither day nor night, when you don't study Torah.
I mean, why did they use this type of a description? Why didn't they just say there's no time that you can engage in idle words?
Right.
Right.
Question.
That's just a way of enforcing the idea.
Let's
We
take a
do-
look at this Gemara. Menachos.
Go get it.
99a.
Okay, 1 second.
I don't. Oops. Menachos, what? 99b. I don't think I've got Menachos.
Okay. 99a. Perek Shtei Alechem. Oh, 99B. Oh, I thought it was 99A. Oh, well. Let me see here. Let's see. Maybe I still have it over here. Where is it on the page? Depends where it's on the page. Hmm.
Okay, I found it. It's in the very bottom of the page.
Yeah, I see. Okay. That means I've got to get a different cipher. Just a minute. Sorry.
It's on 99B5, left-hand column. In the middle of the paragraph. Rabbi Kara Alav Hamikra Hazeh.
What's said in English?
Rabbi Ishmael recited this verse regarding Ben Dama. This book of the Torah shall not depart from your mouth. Rather, you shall contemplate it day and night. Go out and seek a moment which is neither day nor night, and study it in it Greek wisdom.
Ever study Greek wisdom, I guess.
It's not exactly the way he quotes it.
He just quoted part of this statement. Yeah.
Yeah, my commentary says, of course, there is no such thing as a moment that is neither day or night, according to Rashi. Rabbi Ishmael was telling his nephew that the constant obligation to study Torah barred him from the study of Greek wisdom.
I think I'll tell you what I think is the simple understanding is because we have a mitzvah of Talmud Torah, like it says in the pasuk in Yeshua, "V'gisa bo yomam balayla," and you should higisa bo. You should think about Torah. It should be on your mind. Yomam balayla, meaning the entire time period of Lila and the entire time period of the day, if you happen to be available to do so. If you're not sleeping or you're not making your parnasa or some other tzorich, some other necessity that you have that necessitates you to be taken away from the study of Torah. But otherwise, if you don't have any of those obligations, so then your obligation is Torah, Yom V'Layla. And so this is perhaps why he mentioned in over here, if you could find a time which is not Yom or Laila, meaning if you could find a time when you're otherwise not required to engage in Torah, if you don't have these other commitments or responsibilities, so then you can engage in something, in some other type of activity, which is not necessary. So that's the allusion to the why it speaks about day and night. Is the daytime and the nighttime is the time of Torah.
I've got, yeah, I've got various commentaries here, but I can't read them. They're in, but there's a Tosafot. I don't know if you, yeah, I think I've tried this before.
Yeah, I see there's a small Tosfos over here on the page. Mahu lilmod
Oh, yes,
Chachmas Yivonis.
that's right.
That was the question that was put to whoever was put to over here,
Mhm.
Rabbi Yishmael.
And yeah,
What's the when
and
what's the halacha about learning Chachmas Yivonis?
oh,
Uh,
mm,
is one allowed to learn it? And so so what does Tosfos say over here? Tema v'chilo haya yodea de gazru aleha il pirashti b'reish Rebbe Yishmael. Okay, very short words referring to a gezerah, which I guess appears somewhere, maybe on this page, maybe somewhere else. Tosfos refers to us to a different Gemara in a different place on Samach Daled Amid base. That'll require getting up and going to get another sefer. So before we do that, we'll try to learn the Gemara itself. Let's take a look at the Gemara before we go to Tosfos. That's the way to do it. So just trying to find a good place to start. Yeah, maybe a good place to start would be from the beginning of the Gemara, after the Mishnah. So the Gemara brings a brisa, Tanya, Rabbi Yossi Omer, afilu silek esa hayashana shachris v'sider esa chadasha arvis ein bekach klum. He's talking about the that is the name of this part. The name of this parak is Shtei Alechem. We're talking about the placement of the Shtei Alechem. So we're not going to get into that. It's a question about how to take off the old and put on the new Shtei Alechem from the Lechem Aponim. Okay, so after that, we have another statement. Amar Rabbi Ami, Bidvarav shel Rabbi Yossi, nilmod afilu lo shna adam ela perik echad. Shachri su perik echad arbis. Kiyem mitzvahs lo yamush sefer haTorah hazeh mipicha. Oh, that's very interesting. From the words of Rabbi Yossi, that he said when the lechem is on the shulchan, even for a small amount of time during the morning, and he is mesader it subsequently in the evening, so he has fulfilled the requirement that the lechem should be lefonai tamid. That's called tamid. Tamid, means on a constant basis, continually. So if you could fulfill this, what it says, lefonai tamid, in regard to the lechem. So Rabbi Yossi says, if so, then we could say the same thing about the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. according to that. That what? Even if he learns afilu lo shana adam ela perik echad b'shachris, he only learns one perik in the morning and one perik in the evening. That sounds like pretty good. That's a lot. That would seem to be a lot to me. A whole perik. Wow. But even if he only learns that much in the morning and that much in the evening, kiyem, he has already fulfilled the mitzvah of based upon the pasuk in Yoshua. It says lo yamush sefer haTorah hazeh mipicha v'gisa bo yomam v'layla. That the Sefer Torah should not be the words of the Sefer Torah shouldn't be removed from your mouth, and you should contemplate them during the day and the night. So as long as you contemplated them during the day and also during the night. It wasn't the whole day, it wasn't the whole night, but that'll fulfill that pasuk. So Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai afilu lo kra adam ela kriyashma shachris va'arvis kiyem lo yamush. There's that famous Gemara said in the name of Shimon bar Yochai. Even if a person only read the Kriyashma, the 3 paragraphs of Kriyashma, they're all psukim in the Torah. All of those psukim, and he has to say Kriyashma anyway in order to fulfill the mitzvah of Kriyashma. So even if all he did in regard to his learning of Torah was that he said the 3 paragraphs of the Shema in the morning and in the evening, he has fulfilled lo yamush sefer Torah hazeh mipicha. He's fulfilled the obligation to learn Torah day and night. This is absolutely forbidden to say in front of Amei Ha'aretz. But Rava Amar mitzvah la'amro bifnei Amei Ha'aretz. Rava, however, says that it's a mitzvah to say before an Amei Ha'aretz. Why does he say that it's a mitzvah? One explanation here is because he will is a very positive way of looking at it. He will say, wow, you see how important it is. Just a few words of Torah. He's fulfilled the mitzvah with just a few words of Torah. That must mean that the words of Torah are so chashuv. They're so important. So, okay. Anyway, we continue in the Gemara. Shal ben Dama ben Achoisoi, Shel Rebbe Yishmael. He's the nephew of Rebbe Yishmael ben Dama. There was a person in Ashkelon, the famous non-Jew, Dama ben Nesina, that didn't want to wake up his father to get the keys for the his name was Dama, but here we have someone else named Dama, who is the nephew of Rebbe Yishmael. So he asked Rebbe Yishmael, "Uncle, let me ask you a question." Sure. Kigon ani. Shalamadati kol Torah kula. I, for example, have already learned the entire Torah. Right? He went to the Daf Yomi. He sat there in all the shirim. He didn't miss hardly any day. And he went to the Siyum and he danced at the MetLife over there in New Jersey, where the mayor, I'm sure, is familiar with that place.
I went to it, yes.
Ah,
I went to the Siyum then.
Ashrecha. So he asked him if, as far as for me, I've already learned the whole Torah. Ma hu lilmod chachmas Yavonis. Will I now be able to turn my attention to the study of chachmas Yavonis, the wisdom of the Yavonim, the Greeks? Kara alav hamikra hazeh. So Rabbi Yishmael, he related to him the following pasuk: Lo yamush sefer hator hazeh mipicha v'gisa bo yomam b'layla. What does it say in this pasuk? This is a pasuk in Yoshua. Yeshua was the primary disciple of Moshe Rabbeinu. He was the one that followed Moshe Rabbeinu everywhere. Heard everything that he said. And this is a pasuk in Yeshua that the Sefer Torah should not depart from your mouth. Vegisabo, and you should learn it and contemplate what it says there. Yomam v'layla, both night and day. That's what the pasuk says. Say ubadok, shah she'ena lo min hayom v'lo min halayla v'limod bo chachmas Yavonis. So here's my eitzah for you, my dear nephew. Find a time when you're not already obligated in any case to learn Torah. We would assume that Yeshua had also learned the whole Torah, and yet he's saying that Yigisa bo yomam v'layla, that you have to chazer over it, keep turning it over. There's no end to how much one is obligated to learn Torah, day and night. So if you could find a time which is not during one of these time periods, which you're obligated to learn Torah, the day or the night, lilmod bo chachmas Yavonis. So then you can go right ahead and learn chachmas Yavonis during that time. Okay. So the Pele Yoetz, he's just referring to chachmas Yavonis as what can you do here? As tisasik b'divrei batola. Then you could engage in matters of batola, such as chachmas Yavonis. Okay. And the Gemara actually goes on. Upliga to Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani. The Amar Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rabbi Yonasan, pasuk ze eino lo chayva v'lo mitzvah. On the contrary, this pasuk in Yeshua is not a source for the obligation or the mitzvah to learn Torah. Ela bracha. That pasuk is simply a blessing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu es Yoshua shedivrei Torah chavivan olav bioter. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that to Yoshua there was nothing that was more cherished to him than learning Torah. Shenema Mesharsoi Yoshua ben Nun Nar Lo Yamish Mitoch HaOel. Yoshua is a pasuk in Shmos. And the servant Yoshua, he was a servant of Moshe Rabbeinu. He served Moshe Rabbeinu. He accompanied Moshe Rabbeinu everywhere he could. And the pasuk describes him as a nar. You know how old Yoshua was at the time that this pasuk calls him a nar?
Probably in his 80s.
Something like that, yeah. Lo yamish mitoch ha'oel. Yoshua did not depart from the tent where Moshe Rabbeinu taught the Torah. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem said to him, Yoshua, We called him by a name. Kol kach chavivin alecha divrei Torah. So much so is the Torah cherished to you. Lo yamush sefer haTorah hazemi picha. I give you a bracha. I give you a promise. Hashem's bracha is as good as in the bank. That in fact the Sefer Torah will not depart from your mouth, and you will not forget your Torah. That's the way they understand over here. Okay, so that's the Gemara.
Rabbi,
Yom
there's an interesting commentary here in my art school. It says that there's an implication here that there's nothing wrong with studying Greek wisdom. If you had a time, such a time, then you could study it. And that is, according to Tosfos, that is a machlokas. Now the Pele Yoetz, interestingly enough, he doesn't say Greek wisdom. He says idle talk.
The same thing.
There's no question that idle talk is forbidden.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's making a significantly different statement vis-a-vis this machlokas.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, right. I have over here also. Tosus asks, that's what Tosus means. The Gezerah that Tosus is talking about over here. I didn't know what he was talking about. In other words, he's coming, the nephew, to ask the uncle, is it permissible to learn Chachmas Yavanis for a person such as me who's already learned the whole Torah? I know the whole Torah, so I already know it. So what should I do now? Should I be allowed to learn Chachmas Yavanis?
But even more so, the footnote here says that there's an underlying issue of a communal need. Maybe there's a need to learn Chachmas Yevamos.
What's the communal need?
To intercede with the government officials.
Mm-hmm.
But that wouldn't apply for everybody in that case. That would only apply then for those people who are going to negotiate.
Yeah, so they tell interesting stories about this, about the Chafetz Chaim, that he went to when there was a certain gezerah against the Jews in Europe. So they were contemplating who to send to intercede, and the Chafetz Chaim went, and he he only spoke Yiddish, but he spoke and at the end the judge said, okay, fine, it's okay, and somebody said, but you didn't even understood what he said. So it's okay, I understood. I got it. Okay, we're lifting this decree. So anyway, so that's what Tosas' question is. Tosas says, Kilo haya yodea the gozru aleha. Did he not know this nephew who was asking his uncle this question, did he not know that there's already been a gezerah? There's already been a gezerah. Shelo lilmod chachmas yavanis. So if so, what was the nephew asking this question? So Tosas answers. Here the Tosas just says, El Parashti. I've already explained this previously in on Samach Dalet Amud Beis in this Masechta. In the beginning of that parak over there, and just what exactly was explained over there. Tertzu le'el shu'ulai haya ben dama karav l'malchus. That's what you're referring to, Lou. That perhaps this ben dama, maybe he was he was close to the king and the family of the king and the rulers, and so in his case, says Tosus, he thought perhaps he would not be subject to the gezerah. And so therefore he thought to ask the question. That perhaps the gezerah was not made against someone like himself.
To my way of thinking, these bits about finding a time between day and night is just a roundabout way of saying, no, that's you're not going to be able to do that. It's a prohibition. It's like, saying it's not possible. Yes, yeah. It's like fly me to the moon. So, yeah, go jump over the moon. It means that you're not going to find such a time. That is, it's something that you shouldn't do. So the answer is no. I think that's I think that's probably the basic, if not the only interpretation or reason for saying that. Just go, sort of go fly a kite. But it's not a windy day. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. The Gemara brings another statement from the Academy of Rabbi Yishmael right after this. Tana Bey Rabbi Yishmael. It was learned in the base medrash of Rabbi Yishmael. Divrei Torah lo yu alecha choiva. Ve'iata rishai liftor atzmacha mihen. What's this mean? Lo yu alecha choiva. It's like a person who has an obligation and he wants to pay the obligation. He owes $1,000. He wants to pay it up and absolve himself of his obligation. As though to say, like his uncle, like his nephew asked him, uncle, like for example, like myself, I'm already a person who has learned the entire Torah, and perhaps I've paid my $1,000 obligation already. I've paid up, right? The Torah is an obligation. You got to learn all the Torah. I learned all the Torah, and I absolved myself of the obligation to learn any more. So if so, then how about for me to focus on Chachmas Yevonis? Because you know, but Rabbi Shmuel says, "V'iyata rishai liftor atzmacha mehen." No. This is not an obligation like you loaned $1,000, and all you have to do is pay up the $1,000, and now you're a free man. Now you're not obligated anymore. It's not like that at all. The mitzvah of Talmud Torah is there's no such thing as pattering yourself from the obligation, like there is an ordinary obligation. That's another statement of Rabbi Yishmael.
Okay, I have to go.
Okay, all the best, Mayor. Yasher Koyach.
Be well, everyone.